Hey everyone, welcome back. So today I want to do something a little different. I know that we just recently did a Q&A session for my 10,000 subscribers, but I've seen other creators do this, answering assumptions about themselves, and I've always found it fascinating, and, I'm always interested to learn about my favorite creators. And I have to admit, I worry a little bit that maybe my personality doesn't come through in some of my videos. I guess because I'm kind of in teaching mode in a lot of them, and I don't know if my actual personality comes through so much. Because I get people asking questions about me and my personnel or my personal life. I don't know, sometimes the questions are just like, wow, you really think that about me? But anyway, I thought it would be interesting to do this. Number one, I needed content for this week. I'm not gonna lie, I've been working on a project and it's taking a lot longer than I had expected it to, so I didn't really have anything lined up for this week. And two, I don't know, it's kind of a little bit of a social experiment, I suppose, to see, again, is my personality coming through? Am I sharing with you guys myself, or am I just sharing with you the knowledge that's in my head? And I want it to be both. I want a little bit of both. I want me to shine through. And I have to be honest, some of these assumptions, I don't know if these are coming from people that have just come across me. They've never seen me before, or they're just finding me, or if they're coming from people who have followed me for a long time. But I mean, it's clear that y'all don't know me that well, and it's very strange to me. It was really interesting, and I mean, some of you, everybody was nice. Everybody was so super, super nice. But some of you think that I'm not even human. That I don't sweat, or that I basically wake up looking like this. And no, that is so not true. So I'm not kidding you, I have 8 pages of questions. I'm going to try to get through as many as possible, and this is going to be a longer video, but I don't care. I want to get through some of these. Some of them are hilarious, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who submitted their assumptions about me. They were all really interesting to read. I very much appreciated it. But I'm going to try to get through as many of these as possible, and hopefully this will, get you to know who I am a little bit more. I feel like whenever I do my Q&A videos and I ask for questions, I don't get a lot of questions about me personally. I get a lot of questions about, vintage hair, vintage style. And so I don't know if it's because you already feel like you know me, and that's fantastic. Or I don't know, maybe it's because I'm not that interesting. Don't really care. I hope that's not the case. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started on answering some of your assumptions about me. I got a lot of very similar assumptions, which is really interesting to me. This first kind of group is that I assume you're an introvert, just like me, or that you look a bit shy, even though you talk about your style on social media. And in real life, you're just as nice as you portray, but you're a little bit more reserved. And then just basically, talking about how they think that I'm a shy person, that I'm soft-spoken in a positive way. I'm not sure what that really means. I would not categorize myself as an introvert. Definitely not. I can be shy in certain situations. Just, I don't know, I guess depending on when I'm meeting somebody. If I'm in a big group setting, I can be a little shy because I feel, not confident about being there. But as far as being introverted, I don't know. I'd say I love social situations. I'm a social butterfly. I actually crave social outings and situations. I love being around people. I love being out in the world. And I do need that. I find that, if I haven't done anything for a while, like I really need that to kind of, I don't know, get my energy back or whatever. But I definitely need time alone to recharge after a while. And so, yeah, I guess maybe I'm extroverted introvert, if that's a thing. But no, I mean, I'm definitely not a homebody kind of person. I need to be out, and I mean, that's a big reason that I started on social media, was because, I moved around so much, and that it was a good way for me to kind of connect with other people. But yeah, I don't think I would say I'm shy. Only in certain situations. If there's a lot of people that I don't know, then yeah, I guess I get a little shy. But I think on the whole, I'm not really. I was a shy kid. I was a really, really shy kid when I was very young. I have siblings, but they're so much older than me that I didn't really grow up with siblings. So I was really kind of an only child. And it wasn't until I was, I don't know, like 10 or 11, my dad put me into theater, and that's really just kind of what opened everything up. So yeah, since that point, I don't know, I've been a little bit more extroverted, but yeah. You spend a lot of money on clothing. Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, I don't really know how else to quantify that. It's part of my job and I like it, and sure, I guess that's true. You are a book person. Yes, although I'm an audiobook person. I always have an audiobook going. I'm not one to like sit down in a chair and just read a book. I can't really do that. I need to be doing something and listen to a book. So I always listen to either a podcast or an audiobook when I'm getting ready in the morning. When I had a commute, when I was driving to work, I would always listen to audiobooks. When I garden, when I clean. Yeah, so that's my preferred way of consuming books. I wouldn't consider myself a bookworm. I consider myself a book dragon. Because even though I am an audiobook, like that's how I like to consume them, I actually buy the book as well. And so I like to hoard books. I just like to have books around me all the time, even if I don't always read them. But yeah, I do. I like reading books. So I guess I'd be considered a book person. That you're an old soul in a young person's body. I am not a young person. I am 47 years old. But yeah, I think so. I think I'd be considered an old soul, but definitely not in a young person's body. That I'm pretty without makeup too. I don't know. That's subjective, I guess. I don't think I'm pretty without makeup. I'm fine, I guess. I'm not hideous, but yeah, I prefer makeup. I know I said this in my first makeup tutorial that I feel like I look like a 12-year-old boy when I don't have makeup on. Yeah, I don't feel like I really have any, I'm not ugly or pretty with makeup on. I don't know. I just am. I feel like makeup changes me quite a bit, so I prefer it. That you wished you lived in the 1940s. No, not at all. And this is actually a subject that is one of the things that bothers me about being in the vintage world, being a vintage enthusiast, is that people always assume that we want to live in the eras that we like to dress in, and absolutely not. This is probably going to get a little deep here, but I mean, I love the fashion, I do, and I like the music, but no, I mean, I am a feminist, I am progressive, I am a leftist. I don't, I definitely follow the, vintage fashion, not vintage values motto. I mean, we're already living in a time where women and marginalized groups are losing rights. And, I wouldn't want to go back to a time where not only those rights were not provided, but that we didn't have a platform or a society where we could fight against them. And I feel like even though we're losing rights and that, marginalized groups are losing a lot and being targeted, I feel like at least now we have more of a platform and more of a footing to fight against it. In the 40s, they did not. And I mean, I love technology. I like advancements. I like the, the medical advancements that we have now. Absolutely not. No, I definitely do not wish to be living in the 1940s. That you've always had your style and it didn't take time to cultivate it. That's interesting. No, I mean, I've been wearing vintage style for over 30 years. So, I mean, I guess in the sense that, I mean, does anybody really have style when they're 16 years old? Which is when I started to dress in vintage. But no, I mean, I've been cultivating it since then, and it's evolved over the decades, and I'm constantly evolving. I'm sure I will evolve again, but I don't know, maybe I've always had a sense of style, maybe. And I think that just really comes from my mom, because she was very stylish and kind of instilled that in me, I guess. This one's cute. That if my makeup was, well, she wrote smuggled, but I think she means smudged. If my makeup was smudged, you would tell me and help me fix it. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm never going to let a friend or anybody really walk around with smudged lipstick or makeup. Yeah. And I always keep a compact and a, extra makeup and stuff in my purse. So of course I would help you fix it. That you love to have a chat with the vendors when thrifting, and that you know more than they do. I do love to chat with the vendors. I'm a very chatty person. I like to talk to people. I have no problem talking to strangers. As far as me knowing more than they do, no, probably not. I mean, I know a lot about very specific topics. I'm not one of those that knows a lot about a lot of things, but I'm always wanting to learn. So I ask a lot of questions, and I love talking to the vendors and learning more about them and what kind of stuff that they sell. And so yeah, but no, I don't think I know more than they do. I mean, that's their job. That's what they do. I hope they know more than I do about things. I've learned so much from thrifting vendors and flea market vendors and stuff. And yeah, they're just really fun to talk to. You feel good about your body. Most days, I guess. I mean, I'm a pretty confident person in my skin. I'm pretty happy with how I look. But yeah, I mean, there's days where I don't feel so great. Either my body's creaky or, yeah, I mean, I have days where I just don't feel right. I don't feel that I look good, and we all have those days. But I think on the whole, yeah, I'm okay with it. You have a good skincare routine. Yes, I do. And actually kind of goes along with the next question, which is, I assume you're a vintage makeup artist or esthetician because your makeup is always perfect. So yes, I am a licensed esthetician and I am a makeup artist, and I did that for many years. I owned my own spa and I did skincare. I'm also a massage therapist, but I don't do that anymore, but I still have the knowledge. But yes, skincare has always been a very big thing for me. I learned pretty early on how to care for my skin, and it's just, yeah, it's been something that has continued on, and I actually have a couple videos about my skincare routine. You have a huge weakness to baked goods. Yeah, I think I do. Although I can't eat gluten here in the United States. My body does not appreciate the gluten here in the US. In Europe, I'm perfectly fine. I've had no problems. But yeah, I think most of the time, if I could, I would choose like a cakey thing, like a cakey dessert over like ice cream. But if there's like a cakey element to the ice cream, that's even better. I would love that. But yeah, carrot cake is probably my favorite thing. I'm allergic to chocolate, so all chocolate things are out. Yeah, I think I have a weakness for baked goods. Okay, so the other kind of group of assumptions that a lot of people seem to make was that I was very organized. This person says you're very calm, you're a list maker, you are very neat and orderly. This other person says, I assumed you're pretty organized. I assume you get up really early to get ready for the day. And I assume that you're very organized. I am very organized. I do like my areas to be organized and everything has a place, I guess. Yeah, I tend to be like, if things are not in, their order, it's chaos to my brain. And I have a really hard time focusing when things aren't organized. Even in my, I don't know, when I put my stuff together for my content creation, I have a really fantastic online app that I use to help organize everything. I have a content calendar. And that it really helps to, I don't know, it takes the weight off of my brain because I know that it's in a right spot and then I'm able to concentrate on other things. The part about getting up really early for the day, no, I am not a morning person at all. Yeah, I would love to be. I would really like to be. I feel like the world doesn't work for the way that my schedule would work perfectly. But yeah, I go through these I don't know, these times where I'm like, okay, I'm going to get up early. I'm going to get up at 5:30 and I'm going to just get the day going. And no, it takes me forever to wake up. So now I'm just kind of going with, I'll wake up when I wake up, which is, I don't know, normally around 7 or so. But yeah, I'm definitely a night owl. I do my best work in the evening. But it's weird if I need to get up for, say I have to go to the airport or something like that. If I have to get up really early, say 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm fine. But it's that normal, but 5 and 6 that people normally get up to do their normal daily stuff. Nah, I can't do it. I mean, I'll do it, but I'm not happy about it. And it doesn't take me that long to get ready. Honestly, it doesn't. So no, I don't have to get up super early to be ready for the day. I would rather sleep in, get up at my, 7 o'clock or whatever, and actually have the energy that I need to do my daily stuff rather than trying to force myself to get up early and then it takes me just hours because I'm just slugging around. I'd rather get the sleep and then be good for the day. Okay, your house is super clean with 4 U's. Yeah, I like a clean house. I have a cleaning schedule that I do. I kind of created it when I was in Germany. We had a really big house in Germany and it was really old. So, it was just constantly needing to be cleaned. But yeah, I just kind of stick with that routine and it works well for me. And again, it's the same with being organized. I like having a clean house. I like, being able to look around and not have to, I don't know, worry about something being out of place or dusty or dirty. And I don't know, it just makes my everyday life much happier and much easier for me when, I take 15-20 minutes a day to do whatever cleaning needs to be done. And, yeah. I assume you're about my height, which is 5'6", and you are correct. I am exactly 5'6". Although when I was in Hawaii at the doctors, they said I was 5'5", but then when I moved back to Virginia, they said I was 5'6" again. I don't know what happened in Hawaii, but yes, I am 5'6". I assume you smell amazing. Sure, let's go with that. I don't know. Because I was a massage therapist for so long, I never wore perfume. And so when I finally retired, I was like on the hunt to find a perfume. And I'm very sensitive to smells. I'm very particular with, what I wear and any kind of fragrances. But yeah, I have a couple. I have one in particular that I wear a lot, which is London Fog, because I want to smell like a London Fog latte. And it does. It smells amazing. It's from a company on Etsy called For Strange Women, which I love. And actually, I used to carry some of their line in my spa, but it smells exactly like a London Fog latte, which is bergamot and vanilla and black tea. And it's absolutely scrumptious. I love it. It's a very creamy, kind of slightly citrusy smell. So I guess if I'm wearing that, I think I smell amazing. These other assumptions had to do with my job, and I can only assume that you guys don't realize that this is my job. So I assume you either have a very flexible, portable job, or you don't work, that you must have a very good job. You're a housewife, you're single and work in an office. And then this one's hilarious, that you have a scientific or covert civilian military job. No, this is my job. My content creation now is my job. And I have had other jobs in the past. And yes, they were office jobs. I'm not single and I don't work in an office. I am married. And I don't have a scientific or covert civilian military job. That's actually my husband works for the military or works for the government. It's not covert though. Yeah. So I find that very interesting that either, maybe these people don't follow me for as long and don't really know that this is what I do. But yeah. And then I assume that you are well off financially because of your beautiful clothes and makeup. They cannot be cheap, or you are able to find a amazing deal. And then someone asked, I wonder if you're independently wealthy. No, I am not. No, we're not well off financially. Again, the clothing, sure, I spend a lot of money on clothes, but we don't have kids. That's probably one of the big things. And, my husband, he does well enough, I guess. I'm not bringing in as much money now that I'm doing this full time. But, I owned a business. I've worked, I worked in marketing and public relations for many years. So no, we're not independently wealthy. I wish that would be really nice. But yeah, we do fine. Okay, this was the one that made me crack up. So you don't ever sweat. You're literally perfection. You make amazing home-cooked meals like vintage style cooking, and you smell like candy. That's hilarious. Of course I sweat. Yeah, everybody sweats. I am human. No, and I am not literally perfection. I do make good meals though. I do like to cook. Vintage style cooking, I have several vintage cookbooks that I really want to start getting into, doing some of those recipes. Some of them are really weird though. They kind of scare me. But no, I sweat. Of course I do. I actually run really hot most of the time. So, but my makeup is really great for people who tend to sweat. It just, I don't know. It's amazing. It's the Glow Skin Beauty is what I use. And I've used it for many years, and even living in Hawaii, which I sweat a lot in Hawaii. Every time I would walk out of the house, I would sweat. But this makeup is fantastic, and it really holds up well in hot, humid climates. I assume, possibly rudely, although more hopefully, as mine are the reason I'm not more put together, that you don't have small children. That is correct. I don't have any children, small or large. We are child-free by choice, and I actually had my tubes tied when I was 27. So no kids for us. I assume you don't own a pair of sweatpants. I don't either, come to think of it. You are correct. I don't own sweatpants. I do own like workout clothes, although I don't wear like yoga pants. I hate yoga pants. I think I talked about this on one of my other videos that Land's End has these, kind of athletic pants that I really like. But no sweatpants for me. That you have a lot more time and patience than I do for hair and makeup and choosing options from your well-appointed closet. I guess. I don't think it's patience so much. I just enjoy doing it. I really do. I love doing my makeup. I love doing my hair. I don't know. I just make a priority for me. I don't know. I think choosing stuff from my closet, the way that I've set it up with all of the color coordination has really made a difference for me, that it's just easy to choose things. But yeah, honestly, getting ready doesn't take a lot of time for me. But sometimes I will, take a little bit longer just because I'm enjoying it, or if I have a little bit more time to do it. Yeah, it's not, I don't think, to me, it's not about patience. It's just that I enjoy doing it. I assume that you always look glamorous, no matter the occasion, nighttime, daytime, all of the time vintage. No, yesterday I didn't put makeup on at all. I didn't do my hair. I was in my pajamas all day long. So yeah, there's definitely days that I don't do anything. But again, because I enjoy it and I like to put on makeup, I like to do my hair, it does help me to kind of get my day going if I know I'm going to be working. I don't know, it helps to motivate me to get my day done. I don't know if I would say I'm glamorous all the time. I know I am the Glambassador, but I feel like I'm much less glamorous than I maybe used to be. I tend to be a little bit more casual lately. I'm always wearing vintage style because that's just what my clothes are. And that's just how I choose to style myself. Now, this one's not really fair because this person does know me and they know this assumption actually is a fact. It is not an assumption. I assume you would prefer to live in France than in the US, and that is absolutely correct. I would absolutely prefer to be living in France right now. And this is my friend who lives in France, and so she knows this to be true. And yeah, that is actually our kind of goal. Our end goal for retirement is to be living in France. So yes, I would be willing to live anywhere in Europe right now than in the US. But yeah, France is my ultimate goal. I assume you've been through a lot to get where you are. God, I don't even know what that means. In life, sure. I guess I've been through a lot, but where I'm at, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I feel like I've been through a lot in my life. I've had a lot of loss in my life. Like I've lost my parents, I've lost siblings. I don't have a lot of family left. So as far as that's concerned, maybe. One thing that I think a lot of people, I don't think anybody really knows about me, is my parents moved to Mexico when I was a freshman in high school. And I didn't go with them. I stayed in the United States with roommates and finished out high school. So I lived alone. Well, not alone. I lived with roommates from the time I was 14. But it was actually a really great situation. The fact that my parents trusted me enough to be able to stay, and I was a good kid. I really was. I was very independent. Yeah, it actually turned out fantastic because My mom and I were very, very similar and both very independent, fiercely hard-headed. And we just had an amazing relationship, really. And I think we would not have had that relationship had we been, living under the same roof during my teenage years. But she was an amazing woman, and my stepfather was also fantastic. And yeah, it was, other people, especially in my family, saw it as an abandonment, but it was not. It absolutely was not. My parents sat me down. We talked about it. They gave me the choice to move to Mexico with them or to stay in the United States and go to high school with my friends, with the people that I knew. And so I chose to stay. And it was great. We had, I went to school, I did well in school, and I graduated, and yeah, it was fine. So I don't know what you mean by that I've been through a lot to get where I'm at. I guess that's the case. I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that. I assume you know how to swing dance because you'd look amazing doing it with that hair and those clothes. I do know how to swing dance. I don't anymore because I have had 2 back surgeries and I've had 2 knee surgeries and my body just will not take it anymore. But yeah, I used to swing dance a lot when I was younger. I wish I could, but not anymore. I assume that you have a good marriage and that your husband dresses in vintage sometimes and that you turn heads when you go out together. I do have a good marriage. We've been married for almost 22 years and he dresses in vintage on the weekends sometimes. And, if we go to events or whatever. I don't know if we turn heads. I mean, people do comment, I guess, when anytime there's like more than one person in vintage, I think people start to turn heads. And but yeah, I think we look good together. You love old movies. I'm sorry to say that I'm not a real big old movie fan. I know it's awful. No, I mean, I don't watch a lot of old movies. I really don't. I don't know. Some of the acting is really cringe, and I don't know. I just have a hard time with some of the old movies. If I do watch them, it's really strictly for the fashion, and for inspiration. It's not really for the plot so much. I wish I did. I wish I was a little bit less, I guess, judgmental when it comes to older movies, but yeah, not so much. That you love a good old-fashioned cocktail. No, I don't drink. I do not like the taste of alcohol, and I've never been a drinker. If I have something to drink, it has to be like really sweet. And like I will like a cider. I hate beer. I'm not a big wine fan, and I don't really like hard alcohol unless it's like a cocktail that is super sweet and I can't taste the alcohol. But yeah, other than that, like I don't like the feeling that I get when I have alcohol. I don't like the headache. I don't like No, not a drinker. Okay, this one's really specific. That I love tea, reading, old movies, theater, and museums. You're a collector of many things. You would love to live in a Tudor or Victorian-style home or English cottage if you could. You'd like to travel through Europe rather than vacation on a tropical beach resort. Your favorite season is either spring or autumn. Your best subject in school was English. Now, I don't know who this person is, but I mean, they kind of know a lot about me, I guess. I do like tea. I will drink tea in the afternoon sometimes. I do like reading, if it's audiobooks. We've already established that I'm not great at old movies. I love the theater and I love museums. Definitely a collector of many things. And yeah, I would love to live in a Tudor or a Victorian style home or an English cottage. I would take any of those, or a French chateau. Absolutely. Anything old. I would love to have an older home. I'd like to travel through Europe rather than vacation on a tropical beach resort. And that is absolutely true. I lived in Germany for 5 years. And then I lived in Hawaii for 2, and I hated every second of Hawaii. Yeah, tropical beach resort's not my thing. Definitely traveling through Europe. My favorite season is both spring and autumn. My best subject in school was English, I guess. I don't know if that was my best subject. I think it was probably the subject that I was most interested in. Yeah, but I guess I'm gonna say sure. I guess. I assume you are very kind and love cats. I'd like to think I'm kind, yes. And I do love cats. I love dogs too, and I love all animals. I haven't had a cat in a very long time, and I miss having a cat. Yeah, so I love cats. You're really a heavy metal punk goth weirdo, babe, and just keep a vintage lifestyle to keep yourself grounded. Well, you're not 100% wrong. I do love heavy metal. I do love punk. I was a little bit of a goth weirdo in high school. I don't know about the keeping a vintage lifestyle to keep myself grounded aspect. I still very much, have those other parts of me. I asked my husband when I was doing this, like what he thought would be the one thing that might surprise people if they learned about me. And he said that he thinks that people would be surprised about my musical choices because I'm varied in my musical choices. I did definitely go through like heavy metal phase when I was in high school. I went to 6 Ozfests when I was in high school. I love punk. I love goth. Yeah, I love it all. I love a lot of music. There was another question, which was the only person that I actually answered to because, again, this is a person who actually knows me in real life. I went to high school with her, and she says, I assume you secretly listen to 90s country music and line dance when no one is looking. And I told her to shut her face, mostly because she's absolutely right. I did listen to a lot of 90s country music when I was younger, when I was in high school. And we did go country line dancing, and I loved every second of it. I don't anymore. I don't go line dancing, but yeah, I love me some Garth Brooks, to be honest. I like all kinds of music. And I think people would be a little surprised. I'm a Gen Xer, so I grew up with, a lot of heavy metal and just rock, and I love Depeche Mode. I love The Cure, Oingo Boingo, one of my favorite bands. So, yeah, I'd like to think I'm a little bit of a weirdo, but who knows? Okay, this one's a little bit specific as well. That you always look flawless, even on really hot days or in the morning when you wake up. That your favorite cake is Victoria's sponge, and that I put the jam on scones before the cream, the Cornish way, the Devon do cream, then jam. So no, I don't always look flawless even on hot days or in the morning. I look ridiculous when I wake up in the morning. My hair's usually all over the place. I'm not wearing any makeup. Nobody looks fabulous when they wake up in the morning. And on really hot days, yeah, I sweat. I don't know. I look sweaty. I look hot. I look uncomfortable on really hot days. I don't think I've ever eaten a Victoria sponge. I have no idea. I'm assuming it's just a sponge cake, which, sounds good. And then putting the jam on scones before the cream. We just don't eat scones and cream here in the US. The closest thing I think would be like a biscuit with butter and jam. And no, I would put the butter on before jam. So that would be the closest thing to cream. I'm assuming you mean clotted cream, which I do love. But even that, I would definitely put the cream on before the jam. Yeah, the jam's more spreadable. You can't put clotted cream on top of the jam. That doesn't make any sense. It wouldn't spread. So, sorry. That you're glamorous, educated, feminist, history major, and lives alone in a historic cottage. Glamorous, I don't know, I'll leave that up to you guys, I guess. Educated, sure, I think so. Feminist, Absolutely. I am a fierce feminist. History major? No. That was marketing and communications. And no, I don't live alone in a historic cottage. I live with my husband in the suburbs of Virginia. I assume you like rockabilly music and culture. That is a big no. I've had issues with rockabilly for a long time. And I will say that the neo rockabilly music and culture, absolutely not. I don't like that. That doesn't align with my interests. I do like the traditional like 50s rockabilly music, not necessarily the culture so much, but I mean, when I was growing up, rockabilly, like the neo rockabilly stuff, was always very racist and white supremacists in the area that I grew up in, San Diego. And so that's just always what I have associated with that. And yeah, and I just I don't want anything to do with that. No, I'm definitely not into the rockabilly culture. I assume that you never shout or get angry, as you seem to have the sweetest nature. Oh, I'm so sorry to dispel that assumption. No, I definitely get angry. Yeah. I can have a temper. Absolutely. Especially when I'm driving. People make me very angry when I'm driving. I mean, on the whole, no, I guess I would never shout at, like, I don't shout at my husband or, like just randomly shout at people. But I mean, I get angry. Sure. I have two assumptions. One, you're very patient because it must have taken years to curate that huge, amazing wardrobe. And two, you're a workaholic because how else do you manage an IG page, blog, and YouTube channel while looking flawless? Yeah, you're right on both. Again, the patience thing, I mean, I don't know if it's patience so much as it is just perseverance, I suppose. But yeah, it's taken many years to curate my amazing wardrobe. And I am a bit of a workaholic. I work a lot but I enjoy it. It's, I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it. But it's a lot of work to manage all of this. But I like it. You assume that I have a very important corporate job. No, this is my job. This is it. I assume that you have friends but prefer solitude. I assume you no longer work outside your home, but I could see you working in a field where you do a lot of research. I would also assume that you are either Wiccan or pagan. I also assume you wear makeup to some extent, even if you don't leave the house. Yeah, I mean, I have friends, but I don't know if I prefer solitude. I think, like I said before, that I need a balance. I need to be able to be with my friends and, be social. But then, yeah, I need some time to, I don't know, recharge, I guess. You're right. I no longer work outside of my home. I work from home now. You could see me working in a field where I do a lot of research. I've never had a job where I did a lot of research. I mean, not really. I worked in marketing and public relations for a really long time, and then I left that field and I became a massage therapist and an esthetician. So, and then in between that time, I've, worked admin jobs and retail and all that fun stuff. So no, I've never done research. And you assume that I'm either Wiccan or pagan, and that is correct. I am pagan. I'm a witch. And you assume that I wear makeup to some extent, even if I don't leave the house. Yes, for the most part. Obviously, if I'm going to be on camera, I do my makeup. But yeah, some days that even if I just am not doing anything on camera, I'll still get ready, and may not be to like the full extent, but I'll do something just to kind of, I don't know, make me feel good, make me feel like I'm being, I'm going to work, I'm getting ready to go to work. But yeah, most of the time I still get ready even if I don't leave the house. Okay, this one's hilarious. I would like to assume birds and woodland creatures help you iron your lovely wardrobe and bring you flowers for your hairstyles. Sigh. Or maybe I just want that for myself. I would love that for myself as well. No, I am not Snow White. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, I would love that. I would love to have I want Gus and Jacques to come and, make me little dresses and just be my friends. But no, I am not Cinderella. I am not Snow White. But I would welcome it. I would absolutely welcome it. I assume you and your husband have no children, not judging. And yes, we've already established that. We do not have children. I assume that your home smells lovely, not an overbearing scent, and something nice and inviting. I would like to think so. Like I said before, I'm very sensitive to smells. So even when, I can't use Pine Sol to clean with, or Lysol or anything like that. It's just, it's so overpowering for me. I like to put in essential oils in my mops and stuff to make things smell. I'd rather just things smell neutral and clean rather than having an additional smell. But I love candles. I have, essential oil diffusers. So yeah, every once in a while, I love to put in some grapefruit or clary sage or something that's just, I don't know, very fresh and clean smelling. And then of course during the fall and winter, I will do cloves, cinnamon, all that fun stuff. I love orange. Yeah, I like to have a little bit of a nice smelling home. I assume you're wonderful to spend time with and make a great friend. I'd like to think I am fun to spend time with. And yeah, I think I'm a good friend. I am one of those people that, I mate for life when it comes to my friends. I'm a fierce friend, and it can be overwhelming, I know, for some people. But yeah, my friendships are very important to me. I've had a hard time because I move so often that it is kind of hard for me to make friends when I move to a new place. I mean, as we get older, it's harder to make friends in general. But because I get so attached to certain people, when I move around a lot, it feels like if I'm not in their general vicinity, that I'm kind of forgotten about, or at least that's what I feel like. I don't know if that's actually true, but yeah, I think I make a good friend. Okay, well, I think that's about it. I hope that this was illuminating for you, and I again appreciate everybody who sent out their assumptions of me. I would like to do this again at some point, but thank you all so much for not only following me and, hopefully subscribe to my YouTube channel and all of my other social media, but just thank you for being amazing people. You're such a fantastic audience. Everybody was so kind and so loving and wonderful, and I really appreciate you. So thank you. I love you. I'll see you again soon. Bye.